As we focus on chapter one, we begin by thinking about and understanding the overall global spending on information technology and general IT services, reaching nearly $3.8 trillion in 2019 alone. Thinking about management consulting and other services, nearly $160 billion spent in that area. Overall, organizational, management, and cultural changes obviously often required for firms to derive the full business value from IT investments. And so that's certainly something that we'll continue to talk about and think about as we move through this chapter and through the course in general. Overall, IT innovations, as we think about where we are going in the emerging trends of today, cloud computing, big data, Internet of Things, those are all areas that we probably have heard about. Most of us might be familiar with. We continue to improve upon and see an increase in mobile digital platforms. Artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning continually becoming very large areas of technology today. And also, as we continue to think about how to grow businesses, advertising, marketing, sales, etc., the use of social networks, not just for social application or collaboration, but specifically for business objectives. We think about new business models and business disruptions. So, for example, we think about the cable industry with examples such as Netflix, Apple TV channels, Amazon Prime, and the like. We continue to see this whole idea of e-commerce expansion. Again, $3.6 trillion nearly in 2019. Mobile retail e-commerce growing more than approximately 20% a year, reaching almost $300 billion in 2020 alone. Managers of today becoming more mobile. We see that particularly after the pandemic with the quote unquote new normal of working from home. But at the same time, managers using social networks and other collaboration tools and business intelligence applications focusing on analysis, understanding of trends and patterns, those continue to accelerate in today's world. Our firms and our organizations continue to change as well. We have a greater emphasis on competency and skill. We have a greater need for higher speed, more accurate decision making. And that decision making based on data and analysis as opposed to just feeling. We have more willingness to interact with consumers from a business perspective. We see that through social media. And obviously, an increased understanding of the importance of information technology. Think about overall the concept of globalization. How might you react if you learned that a job opening that you were greatly interested in was outsourced to another country? Or on the other hand, what would you do if you were filling a manager's job opening with workers from abroad for a fraction of the cost? Some of the benefits, certainly, of globalization we continue to think about. an increase in skilled labor in some aspects. How might you feel about paying 50% more for clothing, for instance, that was made domestically in the United States? We have to continue to think about how we reduce costs of operating and transacting on the global scale, while also understanding new skills, markets, and those opportunities. Think about other business objectives and how IT might help firms achieve them. For instance, speed to market is very important to firms introducing new products. How can IT help to achieve that objective? We know information systems help to create our new products and services, as well as operational excellence, create a greater intimacy with customers and suppliers, and allow for an improved decision making across the board. We also understand and know that information systems generally can help organizations to create a competitive advantage, and in some instances, simply survive. Walmart is the most efficient retailer in the industry and clearly exemplifies operational excellence. What other businesses do you believe exhibit a high level of operational excellence? Do customers perceive operational excellence? Does it make a difference for the customer when they're making a purchase? What websites strike you as really excellent in terms of customer service? Take a minute, think about visiting the Walmart site, and a site that we're probably very familiar with, the Amazon site. Compare them. How are they in terms of ease of use, interaction, and general operational excellence? What other new products or business models have you encountered recently? How might you relate to new information systems or new technology in general? Think about listing some interesting recent digital product innovations. Just calling to mind, thinking green technology, such as wind, solar, hybrid, or electric vehicles. We see them today and obviously have become a topic of conversation throughout the country. As we think about just that area, what role will IT be playing in the development of those technologies? What types of companies might rely more on customer and supplier intimacy more than others? What companies can you think about that have served you exceptionally well? What online sites can you identify that achieve a high degree of customer intimacy? Take an opportunity to visit sites such as Netflix, Amazon. Do they encompass the opportunity to serve you exceptionally well in the menus and other areas they offer on their sites? How do organizations such as hotels foster that intimate relationship with customers? For instance, technology might be used to track preferences so that immediately when you come into the room, using something as simple as a key card can lower or raise the temperature of the room to fit your preference. Have you ever been the recipient of exceptional service from a company made possible by improved decision making? Did information systems contribute to that level of service? Achieving any of the previous business objectives, operational excellence, new products, services and business models, customer and supplier intimacy, or improved decision making. Those represent the achievement of a competitive advantage as well. In addition to those areas that clearly set yourself apart from your closest competitors. As we think about organizations, can you name any examples of companies that failed to survive due to their unwillingness or inability to update their information systems alone? As we understand what an information system is, it's important to understand that they are not just technologies, but deeply involve people and organizations as well. Being a great programmer does not qualify you for being a great manager of information systems. Think about a stream of raw facts, known as data, and then an organized body of data, processed, manipulated, now known as information. A stream of facts example is the ticker tape of a stock market. You can go to a website to display and see the streaming stock prices. Raw data from a supermarket checkout counter can be processed and organized to produce meaningful information, such as total unit sales of dish detergent, or the total sales revenue from dish detergent for a specific store or sales territory. We really want to understand the distinction between information and data. For instance, when we think about data, if all of us were to list our ages, recording those answers, that is simply an example of data. Calculating the average age of students, identifying the oldest student, the youngest student, and so on. That illustrates the difference between raw data and meaningful information. Thinking about activities in an information system, we understand in order for that system to function, there must be an input, processing must happen, followed by output. Continuing with our example from earlier, the process of asking students, or each of you your age, would represent input. Calculating the average age, determining the oldest and the youngest, would represent the processing. And finally, displaying that information in a report would represent our output. Using information systems effectively requires an understanding of the organization, management, and information technology shaping the systems. An information system creates value for the firm as an organizational and management solution to challenges which are posed by the environment. These three themes, management, organizations, and technology, will reappear throughout our book. Understanding the interaction among these factors in information systems is known as information system literacy. Knowing how to optimize the relationship between technology, organizations, and management is the purpose of the book and overall course. Pages 17 and 18 in our text provide more specific details on each level of hierarchy, as you can see here. Think about an organization where you currently work or have worked in the past. What was your contact with senior management? How about middle management and operational or supervisory management? When we think about levels in a firm, business organizations are hierarchies consisting of three principal levels: senior management, middle management, and operational management. Information systems serve each of these levels, and that is unique information systems. Scientists and knowledge workers often work with middle management. Think about how information systems would factor into the day-to-day jobs of each of the three type of workers in the pyramid. There are many organizational factors that will shape information systems. A common observation is that every business is different. Does this mean that every business will have different information systems? Not necessarily. Every business has its unique culture and politics. Systems reflect these business cultures. How might information systems assist managers in the development of new products and services? What is meant by recreating the organization? Why do organizations need to continually be recreated? The answer is that they quickly become obsolete unless they continue to change. Think about organizations that have recently failed or are about to fail. What are the common characteristics of those organizations? Information technology is at the heart of information systems. Although organization and management are important too, it's the technology that enables the systems and the organizations and managers who use the technology. I look forward to working with you throughout this course as we continue to build our knowledge and understanding of information technology and management information systems.